Your every single private moment would vanish overnight. A personal butler for everyone presents a world of unprecedented changes. Imagine 7,800,000,000 people suddenly needing a dedicated helper. That means we would need 7,800,000,000 new jobs instantly created. This workforce requirement alone is a monumental task. The global population currently stands at around 8 billion people. If half become butlers for the other half, or a new class emerges, the numbers are staggering. We would need to train billions of individuals. A comprehensive butler training program might take 2 or even 3 years of intensive instruction. Multiply that by 7,800,000,000 new recruits, and you have a training period that spans decades, if not centuries. The financial implications are mind-boggling. If each butler earned a modest $30,000 a year, this new industry would generate an annual payroll exceeding $234 trillion. That is more than 2 times the current global gross domestic product of around $100 trillion. The economic landscape would shift dramatically. The service sector would explode, dominating every other industry. Agriculture and manufacturing might struggle for labor as everyone seeks a butler role or is served by one. Housing would become a critical issue. 7,800,000,000 additional people would need homes. This could trigger a massive construction boom, but also a severe housing crisis, pushing prices beyond reach for many. Food and water resources would be strained beyond their current capacity. We would need to produce twice as much food and ensure double the water supply for a double population effectively. Energy consumption would skyrocket, leading to unimaginable environmental challenges. The social impact would be equally profound. Dependency would become a new normal. Many individuals might lose basic life skills they once performed themselves. Cooking, cleaning, organizing finances, managing schedules, all would be delegated. This could lead to a widespread atrophy of practical abilities. Social interactions might change. Direct communication with service providers could diminish as butlers mediate most transactions. People might become more isolated within their well-managed lives. Privacy concerns are immense. A constant companion observing every action, every purchase, every conversation. This level of surveillance, even benevolent, creates a new kind of social pressure. What would people do with the extra time if a personal butler saved each person 2 hours a day? That amounts to 14,600,000,000 extra hours daily for the global population. Would people pursue new hobbies, advance their education, or simply fall into idleness? The purpose of human endeavor might shift. Innovation could slow if every mundane task is handled, or it could accelerate if freed minds tackle grander problems. The mental health of butlers themselves must be considered. Constant service demands little personal time, and the emotional labor involved could lead to widespread burnout. Ensuring their well-being would be a new global health challenge. Consider the global disparities. Who would be the butlers? Would it be a new form of servitude or a highly respected profession attracting the brightest minds? The initial rollout would undoubtedly exacerbate existing inequalities. Wealthy nations might first implement this system, leaving poorer nations to supply the labor or fall further behind. A universal basic income for butlers would be essential to prevent exploitation. Imagine the logistical nightmare of matching billions of personalities. Compatibility between a butler and their charge is crucial for success. A global algorithm for personal chemistry might be required. That itself raises ethical questions about matching human beings. And what about the butlers' butlers? This quickly leads to an infinite regress or a tiered system of service providers serving other service providers. It highlights the inherent imbalance in such a concept if entirely human-driven. Perhaps advanced artificial intelligence and robotics would eventually fill this role. Autonomous robots could perform many tasks. AI systems could learn individual preferences. But even then, maintenance programming and oversight would require human input. The dream of a completely automated personal assistant is still many decades away. We are currently grappling with the ethics of basic AI systems, let alone ones entrusted with every aspect of our lives. The data collected by such AI butlers would be astronomical, a goldmine for corporations and governments. Data privacy would become the ultimate commodity. Imagine a world where your AI butler knows more about you than you know yourself. Every habit, every desire, every secret fear could be analyzed. This data could be used for personalized advertising or for more sinister forms of control. The very definition of freedom might need reevaluation. A significant shift in education systems would also be necessary. Schools would need to emphasize critical thinking, creativity, and resilience rather than rote tasks. The skills valued in a world where everyone has a butler would be vastly different from today. People might specialize in niche areas of knowledge or art or complex problem solving. The pressure to contribute something unique would intensify. There could be a psychological toll on both the served and the servers. The served might feel a loss of autonomy, a constant presence, even if helpful. The butlers might feel a lack of purpose beyond serving others. A sense of self worth could be challenging to maintain. The concept fundamentally redefines human interaction. We rely on everyday interactions for social cues, empathy, and connection. If these are filtered through a butler layer, some essential human experiences might diminish. The mundane tasks of life often provide grounding and a sense of accomplishment. Losing these could lead to a deeper existential void for many. Even simple tasks like deciding what to eat or what clothes to wear would be managed. This reduces the daily friction of life, but also removes opportunities for small decisions that shape our independence. The world would become an incredibly efficient machine, perhaps too efficient for human nature to comfortably inhabit. The sheer complexity of implementing such a system on a global scale is almost impossible to comprehend. It goes beyond mere logistics and touches upon fundamental questions of human nature, society, and purpose. The cost in resources, in human potential, and in societal structure would be immeasurable.